helped us at the time, or at least lightened our spirits at the time. And before I leave ads, I just want to mention here we're launching this new product this week and next week throughout Australia, 62, which is an upmarket Pilsner, 100% malt product, and we're deliberately launching this into the premium beer market, so unashamedly priced in that sort of $45 to $50 per carton range, and of course we will be spending quite a lot of money in promoting this. So we'd spend just in launching this product about $1 million in terms of PR and advertising and working with the national retailers, etc. So that's one to look out for, 62, because of the play on the date that we were established in 1862. But it's a nice bottle, and we're quite happy with the beer as well. So that really is some of the points I wanted to make about advertising. But I think in particular that issue of engagement with the community has been something which has been more obvious to us in terms of what we've done with our environmental work, and also in more recent times with our community support. And I just want to touch on those two things because I think they are important in terms of the overall marketing effort. Just what am I talking about? Well, the environmental improvements that we're able to make with building a new brewery at Regency Park meant that we could cut down on our energy consumption by about 15% compared to what we were spending on a unit volume back at Leabrook. As you know, we were at Leabrook for 120 years, and we moved to Regency Park, as JB said, in 2001. And it was an opportunity starting from scratch to be able to do the right thing from an environmental, from an energy and water point of view. So not only did we manage to cut down on use of energy in the brew house in particular, but we also put in our own cogeneration plant, which generates our power for us on site. We did this in conjunction with AGL, and at the time we were looking for security of supply for both power and steam generation, but also the environmental story in terms of reduction of greenhouse gases were apparent to us as we got into the whole business of looking at the cogeneration opportunity. And whereas breweries spend about 20% of their carbon footprint on energy generation, it's only 7% in our case because of the fact that waste heat from the cogen plant, it's a gas turbine, and the waste heat from the gas turbine heats up water to create steam. So otherwise we'd be burning gas to create steam. So this is just a picture of the cogeneration plant at Regency Park. And this plant is a boot scheme, so over 20 years we're paying it off, and it will be ours in about another fully owned by us in about another 15 years. So it's been a good story. It saves about 15,000 tonnes of CO2 emissions that would otherwise be coming from us burning gas for steam generation. And on the waterfront, we use saline water from an aquifer 210 metres underground. It's water that is not potable. We can't use it without putting it through reverse osmosis because it's quite saline. In actual fact, we can't put it on the lawns because it's too saline, so we use a shandy of 50% bore water and 50% RO water, which is pure water once the water's gone through the reverse osmosis plant. So, and the reject water is pumped out 7 kilometres underground to the basically to the sea and the Barker Inlet. So again, you know, this is something that evolved as we went along with the whole project design, but turned out to be quite a good news story in the sense of us saving River Murray water and doing some good for the environment. So we feel that you know, whereas these decisions do involve long-term views is on expenditure, they're not short-term gains that we're achieving with either of those investments. Nonetheless, the opportunity to tell a good environmental story is, I think, key, and we've seen just with our Synovate research that people are appreciating that Coopers is at least trying to do some good things on the environmental front. And finally, not to gloat too much, but just to mention that in 2006 we started our own Coopers Brewery Foundation. We did this because a lot of people wanted us to do tours at Regency Park, and we thought we'll charge $20 for the tour. The people on the tour get a glass and a few beers at the end and have the tour, etc. And the $20 goes to charity through the Coopers Brewery Foundation. And our slogan, Brewing Support for the Community, we've managed to raise $600,000 since starting in the middle of 2006. And as you can see, that comes from donations and from recycling efforts at the brewery. So we sell redundant packaging materials, what we collect from the brewing, from the packaging process, we can sell off, and that raises some funds. We also sell our spent grains and yeast, spare yeast as well, and we also raise money in other ways in addition to the brewery tours. And so those funds go to charities either in health care or medical research, in youth education, or in social welfare based on Christian principles. And these ideas we came up with from what we understood Thomas Cooper's interest to be. So it's been a cause for internal rallying in the company, but as we've gone along, we've appreciated that the community is behind us in doing this sort of thing, and of course it's something we can give back for all the community support we get. So it does seem to be important as the part of the overall message that we're wanting consumers to understand. We want to continue being relevant, as I mentioned earlier, engaging with the community and creating a point of difference. And we think that these efforts have helped us get community engagement, consumer engagement, with that opportunity to belong, getting that message across. And I think, that's I suppose the key point that I'd like to make, that during the recession, we don't stop spending on advertising. We haven't reduced our spend. Brewers spend about 8 to 10% of turnover on advertising and sponsorships. And certainly we match that. We would probably spend a bit more than the bigger companies as a proportion of our turnover on total sales and marketing support, because we need to, just to get heard. Totally, I think Lion Nathan and Foster spend about 15% of turnover on sales and marketing, and as I say, of which 8 to 10% is on media and sponsorships. And we would probably spend about 21 to 22% of our turnover on sales and marketing support. So we haven't reduced our advertising spend, and we think that it's important, one, to keep Coopers at the forefront. We like outdoor and print media and radio. Don't tend to do so much television, but it does seem to work, as we can assess from the Synovate survey.